one of those people that is totally lost when it comes to Bitcoin. So what is it? Can you explain that?
Yeah, I was there with you at one point too, but Bitcoin is essentially a form of digital money and a digital store of value. It is completely native to the internet. And the hardest thing for some people to wrap their head around with Bitcoin is that it's not physical like paper money. But, think of how little we actually transact in paper money or cash today, right? And think of how something like the internet and email really changed the way we communicate over something like paper mail. So the two most valuable aspects of Bitcoin are its scarcity and its decentralization. It is decentralized in that no central bank or government controls its supply, and there are actually no third parties involved in the transactions. You are sending value directly from one person to another, and they can be across the world, and it settles almost instantly. And as for the scarcity, this one is really important when we see what's happening with inflation today and really the decreasing purchasing power of the US dollar. Bitcoin was programmed to only have 21 million coins ever to come into existence, making it more and more valuable every year. Bitcoin was actually invented in 2009, and its returns over the last 10 years are nearly 1 million%. Now, Apple and Amazon over that same time period did about 1,000%, the S&P 500 about 300%, and your average savings account today with that tiny little, percentage yield actually depreciates in value due to inflation. So that's why so many people think this is the future of money.
Natalie, but there are regulators, there are governments that don't like it. China banned it recently, and that's something you do have to take into account. If you're investing in this, the Fed could come out tomorrow and say, we're going to ban Bitcoin. I mean, it's very volatile.
It's very volatile. It's still very, very early. And, the China ban is actually something that's happened pretty much every year since about 2013 and really came as no surprise to Bitcoiners. China and other authoritarian governments tend to want to have a lot of control over many aspects of their citizens' lives. And Bitcoin is very antithetical to that. Bitcoin puts the power of transactions back into the hands of people, not bankers or politicians. And some governments want to ban or prevent that. Now, Bitcoiners rejoiced when El Salvador became the first country to legalize Bitcoin as tender. And, as for the U.S., luckily, we actually heard Fed Chair Jerome Powell say this week that the U.S. has no plans to ban Bitcoin. If you really dig into that,